and solidarity. We have seen some much fiery language from Hezbollah when they have committed themselves to direct action. I can tell you that we have seen the IRGC say they're committed within the last 30 minutes, releasing a statement that they're going to close the Strait of Hormuz to all traffic, and they're warning the world that any ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz, of an expected move, but a considerable stance for them to take. That's about a fifth of the world's oils flowing through the Strait of Hormuz on any given day. A considerable action to take. But then again, if you're performing a naval blockade, what is left of your Navy right now? If you're performing surface-to-surface anti-ship missile attacks, what is left of that capacity or the capabilities that they have to do so? Although I would imagine that this morning, every shipping company on the planet, every oil, petroleum shipper decided not to go through the Hormuz today anyways. To that earlier question about Hezbollah, we have not seen an indication based on missile or rocket fire that would say that they have joined in as
Amir, we should be coming to you very soon.
But we have seen the IDF and the Israelis hitting Hezbollah positions in the last few hours, which would indicate that they're either trying to preempt any of that Hezbollah action or attempting to make sure that if they do make a choice, that it's not the wrong one here.
All right, Zach Anders, stay there with us. We'll keep an eye on what you're seeing during this Iranian aviation strike over Tel Aviv, and welcome in our next guest.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring in, if we could, while we're staying also with Zach, let's join in the Senate chairman for the National Iranian Congress and also the author of Comrade Ayatollah Amir Fakhravar, and also former senior advisor in the Trump and Bush administrations, Kristen Whiten. Amir, I cannot imagine what is going on through your mind this moment at this very incredible moment of history. We haven't gotten a reaction from you. What are your thoughts of what we are seeing literally as we speak?
Thank you for having me. That's the moment of celebration all over Iran. Let's, before anything, say thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It's on behalf of entire Iranian people, 100 million Iranians, we are thanking you. Finally, after 47 years of terror and destruction, if the 47th President of the United States had the courage to go after this regime. I have been mentioning on this network many times that regime doesn't have anything, any leverage, any card to play. And it's all bluff from their side. And again, we have seen during the 12 days war, the first minute, the head of IRGC Salami was killed. And this time, last night, the head of IRGC, again, another one, Mohammad Pakpour, have been killed. The Iranian defense minister, Aziz Nasirzadeh, have been killed too. The strike happened. You know, I remember a couple of weeks ago on Newsmax, I said the United States and Israel should go and target Pastor area. The Supreme Leader's palace were there. It was the Shah's palace, which the mullahs, they just hijacked. It's like the animal farm of George Orwell. And the mullahs, they lived in Shah's palace all these 47 years. And finally, last night, it was targeted by US and Israel. And it was the high-ranking meeting of cabinet. Then the Minister of Defense was killed there. And also it was another gathering of IRGC commanders. It was targeted too. And it was amazing, and it will be continued for days.
Yeah, Chris, I want to bring you here on this. I don't know if you heard the report earlier that Zach Andrews had about why they were attacking Tel Aviv and not necessarily military installations. We had a guest on earlier this morning during our coverage that suggested Iran knows it does not have the military ability to compete with the U.S. or Israel. So now their only hope is to attack civilian areas to strike fear, weaken political resolve from the West. What do you think?
I think that's right. And it's not just Israel where they're doing that. They're just trying to kill civilians, not legitimate military targets. You're also seeing this in the United Arab Emirates, a close U.S. ally that hosts U.S. military forces, which has been attacked. They actually have sort of restored the relationship between Saudi Arabia and the UAE, with Saudi Arabia saying its defenses are at the UAE's disposal. Essentially, Kuwait has also been struck, Jordan. But none of this is going to change the military equation. I think it's sort of, there's so much going on, it's hard to digest it all. But you see a statement from France, Britain, and Germany that's essentially neutral. You know, these are supposedly our historic best allies. The countries that matter to the future, the United States, these Gulf allies of ours, Japan, countries like that are on our side. And I don't think it's going to divide the coalition. Who knows or cares what's going to happen at the United Nations or in the capitals of Europe? The people who will shape the future are doing it right now. And as we heard from Donald Trump, he believes that also includes the Iranian people.
And before we let you go, I want to go back to Amir, because Amir, one of the most powerful things that I heard President Trump say today is we are now going after these military targets. We in Israel are going after these targets in Iran. But then after the bombs stop flying, you must rise up. You Iranian people must rise up. What do you think the Iranian people are prepared to do? This obviously, it's still in the middle of the military operation, but clearly he's sending a signal. It's up to the Iranian people for regime change, Amir.
That was very wise advice from President Trump for the people of Iran during these attacks to stay home, because we don't need them in the street right now to protest, but we are ready. To let you know how ready we are, we have an event at the Congress in March 3rd, in a couple of days, that it's called Toward the 7th Constitutional Assembly for Iran. We are looking for the future of Iran. We are looking to build together a coalition to lead Iran during the transition, and for after that to just follow the footprint of American founding fathers, to come together, draft the constitution for future Iran, and make sure the constitution will lead the Republic of Iran in future. We don't need any type of anybody, king or supreme leader, to lead the country anymore. We need to just follow the free world and have the constitution to lead us. We are ready. March 3rd, all day, we will be at the Congress, at the beautiful venue which Speaker Johnson gave us. And yeah, we are definitely ready for the next step.
Christian, the president's message overnight, I took away from it that he learned the lessons of the Bush administration and the mistakes that were made in Iraq and Afghanistan. What did you take away from that?
Yeah, I think it goes, really his call for regime change in a good way, not that we'll have to go and do it, but that the Iranian people could do it, is the most remarkable in history. There have been times where U.S. presidents have called for that sort of in the wake of conflict. If you go back to the 1991 Gulf War, George H.W. Bush was criticized because he did ask the Iraqi people to rise up and overthrow Saddam Hussein, but had no intention of giving them the support they needed, and sort of allowed this, made a very stupid decision to fly helicopters that they used to ruthlessly suppress the people. This is very different. This is actually, I believe, the first war. I mean, you have to go back to the Declaration of Independence to find such a concise message of political warfare and political inspiration. And, you know, going back a couple of days to Vice President Vance sort of ruling out any sort of invasion and occupation. The way this conflict ends is with the Iranian people rising up and getting rid of this hated clerical regime that has the blood of so many thousands of Americans on its hands.
Yeah, very important to also note that while the president has called it a war, there's no troops on the ground.
Yeah, no troops on the ground. We don't know, though, what Israel has on the ground, because remember before that Israel did those strategic strikes and they had intel on the ground. So there could be some covert forces, right? We don't know. We'll find out, of course. This has been an extraordinary day, Mark. Unbelievable. Both of you guys, thank you very much. And everybody, stay with us. Much more ahead as our continuing coverage here on Newsmax stays tuned right after the break. A lot of big developments. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you. اوکی دوستان برگردی پیش خودم، بذارید من از این